we are fighting for is a dignified life. What we are fighting for is an equal access to exist as ourselves. What we are fighting for is to undo 400 years of being brutalized, victimized, surveilled, enslaved, imprisoned, and having the life choked out of us in the cities that we call home. We are tired of being tired. For too long, we have been told about the greatness of Minneapolis and Minnesota. This is one of the liberal havens where in every single measure of society, everyone has the best life except for Black and minorities. When it comes to social and economic success in this state and in this city, we are at the bottom of every single measure. Every night, and I really did not intend for any of you to recognize me because I show up every night so I can get the opportunity just to be in community with you. And I was joking with the young Somali youth here. I said, you're the only ones that can pick me out of a crowd with my mask on. Because everyone else just sees me as everyone else here.
That ain't true, sister.
And so I really do appreciate the kind of community we've built here. Our community is hurting. I want to first send my condolences to George Floyd's family. And I want us to center him and the pain his family and his loved ones and his children are feeling at this moment. But as his extended family, I want to have a conversation with my Black brothers and sisters here tonight. We want to make sure that we are defunding the police and utilizing those resources to invest in our communities. For too long here in Minneapolis, we have found ourselves in this position. We have mourned the deaths of many of our community members in the hands of Minneapolis police, which I believe and everyone else believes is state-sanctioned violence. And so what we want is that brutalization to end.
Right.
I want to raise my Black son to live in a place where he can actualize his full potential. I want my brothers up there to not have the conversations that their fathers and mothers had with them with their sons.
That's right. That's right.
No other community here in the United States goes through a process in which they tell their children how not to get themselves killed by the police officers that are entrusted to protect and serve them. And that conversation needs to end. Because what we want is the ability to not just breathe, but to live and thrive. My sister, Ayanna Presley out of Massachusetts, and I, along with Karen Bass and Barbara Lee, introduced a resolution to recognize police brutality, racism, and the systematic injustices that continue to brutalize, dehumanize, and criminalize black bodies in this country. From the days of enslavement to having African Americans be lynched, to Jim Crow, to mass incarceration, and now to police brutality, this needs to end, and we start that by recognizing the problem. So in the next couple of weeks, we are going to put that resolution to a vote. I shed a tear the other day when Lake Street and North Minneapolis were set ablaze. I did not cry because there was a property that was being destroyed. I cried because that was a symbol of dreams and opportunities that were being faded right before our eyes. What I do know is that every single day when we pour out to the streets, it gets us closer to making sure that we are no longer begging for crumbs, but we are getting proper investment in our communities. Say his name, George Floyd! Say his name, George Floyd! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! That's the main point of all of this. We can't continue to ask for our communities to remain peaceful if we are not giving them a proper path to justice. We have to be strategic and we have to be methodical in organizing and mobilizing for what could be possible for all of us. So I want all of you not to lose sight. They might want to talk about the riots. They might want to talk about buildings burning. But we are going to talk about George Floyd. That is happening with our police department. We are going to talk about the social and economic neglect that we have all faced for decades. And we are all going to talk about a future that is better than the one that we face right now.